for visitors, sometimes they want to scan quickly the article, understand what's there. And so I wonder, with all your experience in like these kinds of like long publications, do you have some learnings on how people actually read content? Like, what's the behavior when they go to a long form article that maybe they're interesting to know when we're designing one, that we can take into consideration? I see, for instance, that on a Smashing magazine there's a lot of illustrations and like things that make the reading experience rich, or at least not boring. Like you feel like there's like something happening at every scroll. So I wonder if that is intentional and comes from like some study or some discovery on how people read.
Yeah, so there is a lot of studies, and Norman Nielsen Group did a lot of research on that as well, because very famously there is this F pattern where people actually start looking at the full lines at the very top of the article, and then as they start scrolling down, they kind of more into the scanning mode,
Okay.
right, where they just look at headings and a bit of text here and there. So it's like very long, like a lot of reading on the very top of the article, and then as you go down, kind of read a little bit less. That's not necessarily always the case. And actually, if you type in Norman Nielsen Group and you look into F shape or F pattern, you will find an article about that, which also includes or covers a lot of other patterns as well, right? So there are plenty of other different patterns also on mobile and so on. But what is important in this scanning process, which eventually will be happening in one way or the other, is that we give people anchors, right? That means when you scroll down, there are images or videos, but there are also some important keywords which are bold. So one kind of test that we did a while back, but we frankly don't do it anymore. Maybe we should. Good that you bring this up. The test was, well, can somebody who is reading this article, which maybe, I don't know, has 3,000 words, or maybe 2,000 words, or maybe 4,000 words, can they just by scanning it, I don't know, maybe 1 minute long, 60 seconds long or so, can they then tell us what the article is about and all the key points that it has?
Interesting.
And the way we designed it is literally, in a way, we have all the important key points as headings, and then we have all the important keywords kind of bolded, right? So basically, if you do just the scanning, you, of course, will miss some important bits, but you will also get some important considerations and kind of key points or key takeaways, hopefully, right? Obviously, if you have a very long article, this is going to be quite a journey, right? But usually that works. Now, if you do have a long form article, which is fine, again, if it's a big case study or if it's a story that you want to tell, it is usually a good idea to mix things up. So you would have some animation going on maybe, and you will have some images going on, kind of showing the story. Kind of breaking things is literally a good idea, because there is a common pattern that you can find on landing pages where you have an image on the left, text on the right. And then as you scroll down, you have text on the left, image on the right. You're kind of always crossing, right? So this always brings attention to something, right? So the person who is reading an article is always engaged. On the other hand, if you have text on the left, image on the right, text on the left, image on the right, text on the right, left, image on the right, you kind of end up with a situation where, like we do here on Smashing, actually, text on the left, image on the right, apparently. But we do have a lot of images, I promise. So you actually end up with slightly more static experience. And so people tend to ignore one or the other a lot. So if it's interesting images, people look at images. If it's interesting text, people just read the text. So if you kind of cross it, then you actually end up with a better position. You know, something that we've learned a long time ago when we were designing landing pages, of course.